Here beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. The Jotun were once allies and subordinates of my people. It is unfortunate that they were so easily corrupted. But the safety of my people comes first. Very well.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential. We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
And here you have it. Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness? We are adrift in these lands, I must admit. We might have been great enough to overcome the burdens, but now we cannot. Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people, and there are many options to choose from. The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. Very well. Mind your step here, Beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colosse's failure to claim any more lives than it already has. It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Farewell. Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anakotos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him. After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Farewell.
Is there anything I can assist with?
And though the path be fraught with tribulation, know that it leads to the land of our greatness, and that we walk it with you. Such were the words the gods spoke to the progenitor of my race when they sought to guide us from our base origins into a fruition of potential. The words have been in my heart every day of my reign, but now they are embodied. Welcome, Beckoned. At last, this city will be complete. I am the Primos of the Colossi people. As I lead them in politics, I lead them in prayer. The messenger of the gods, one summoned to bring the word of faith back to our people. I always assumed that the Beckoned would be one of my own kind, but you bear the cipher. Your role cannot be made more clear. The goddess has shepherded my people for generations. She was responsible for the growth of my people. Somehow, we were found unworthy of her. I have prayed to learn why, but her anger must be far too great. This is greater than any city or any temple that you will find in this world. Of that I assure you. But the city, though magnificent, is only half completed. The Colossi are the children of the Titans. We are the inheritors of their will, and we are the ones that will shepherd this world into a new age. This land is the crucible by which my people might be forged to their new destiny. Vicious and inhospitable, it rebukes my people's every step. Many are the artifacts strewn throughout this world, but the cipher of Athene, I have seen its outline traced in tomes and scrolls, but never in person. Bearing it makes you an embodiment of her power, Beckoned. She sees and hears through you. Because we are all of us, my whole people, incomplete. Because we are not worthy enough, not deserving enough to see such wonders of the gods. And I thought that failure was a finality. I have prayed to the gods in seclusion in hopes of an answer, but they were as quiet as the silent choir. Now the Beckoned is come. With you, the gods can bear witness to us atoning for our inadequacies. We must start at once, beginning with the Wreath of Absolution. Something no Primos would ever wish to wear. They are only made in times of great need, and we must prove to the gods our devotion. The Wreath of Absolution can only be created from the hands guided by Athene. I must ask you to assemble it. First, a golden prayer circlet is needed to serve as its base. The art of crafting one is all but lost to us, but I require one all the same. The last Primos to wear a Wreath of Absolution, Arches, is buried with one such circlet. Sakandra led you to me, did she not? Then she will lead you to the circlet. He led my people into the times that you see today. The gods did not favor his reign, clearly. It lies in his crypt, in the darkest pits beneath the city. They are old halls, and they have fallen into disuse. I understand there might be trepidations in taking such an artifact from my predecessor's crypt, but I assure you, it is ordained. The times we have arrived at are desperate, and when the heavens show their intent, one cannot stand too much on ceremony. The Silent Choir is a group of our most faithful followers, and serve me as I serve the gods. So deep is their faith that they never speak upon entering service. We are so close now.
You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The Circlet of Arcase. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. I have had chances to speak of Arcase before, but it is not fitting for me to discuss him. Not now. You are the first to hear his voice in some time. I almost thought he would join his acolytes in their silent pact. But his prolonged absence from his people has taken its toll on his judgment. Does the Crypt of Arcase have no sanctity to him? We can find it in the crypts beneath the city's sewers. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. Very well.
Can I interest you in a potion? Would you like something to help with flesh wounds? The Terrix below the city can be vicious. Not many of my kind are drawn to horticulture, but it teaches me patience and satisfaction. The plants of the teeth are strange compared to those from our original homeland. They require much attention and deft care, and as I've found, tiny hands. You would make a good apothecary, I wager. There are miracles, great and small, to be seen in this world if you know where to look. But the gods had no use for subtlety with us. Look at this city. You can see their love of us. My potions cure all wounds. Or most of them. Can I interest you in some... Welcome to Idylla, Beckoned. I hope you find it as splendid as we do. Armor is my passion, my livelihood. No one in all of Idylla can provide protection of higher quality. I am reputed with good reason. Though our skin looks like stone, We are but flesh. As any mortal race, we need armor to protect ourselves. There is no finer city than this. Have you seen any other place in Amalur that can match our horizon? Have you found streets more pristine and appealing? You have not, because that is an impossibility. Watch your step up here in the concourse. It is a long way down.
Welcome to the Idylla Market, Beckoned. Can I interest you in a freshly honed weapon? Our city didn't always have a place among the clouds, but Colossi ingenuity changed that. While it saves us from the wilds, it is my weapons that save the guard down below. I construct weapons, and then I sell them. Most colossi are uncomfortable with their hands unfilled, so I endeavor to fill them. Would you like one? A weapon, I mean. Your hands are small. We prefer the spear, for it suits us most in these lands, against this wilderness. But our travels have taken us many places, and I can craft weapons of every shape, and all are equally deadly. Mind the city's edges.
A finer sagecrafter there isn't. Dealing with gems is a specialty of mine. This city is a promise between us and the gods, but it is also a promise between us and the races of Amalur. My people will grow into the majesty of the city, and with the Empire to come, we will spread the gods' light. Attention to detail is not overly common amongst the Colossi. Much can escape the notice of one so elevated. But the facets and powers of my gems hold so much meaning and power. How could I ignore them? Welcome, Beckoned. I am a master of sagecraft. If you need... There is a lesson in sagecrafting. Even the smallest jewel can turn a common sword into a deadly weapon.
You do so much for us, Beckoned. How great of you to come to our city. Much. We have many issues in our great city that need attention. We encourage all who wish to help to find a task suited to them on the nearby petition board. You may examine it, should you wish. There are always things to look after in this city, but keeping busy is a good way to ignore a burdened spirit. There are always smaller items of inquiry or aid that the people of Idylla need. This board allows the community to assist them. I am a member of the Guard, like any other. I am responsible for helping to manage the peace of the city. Has help? Ah, the famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners, or carried by beasts as trophies. I do not forget Arcades, or what he did for my people. He led us here, and started this city, but most cannot see past his flaws. How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were. This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? Be careful with them.
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, Beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged. I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds. They roam the lands below the city. I do not doubt that you will find them if you seek them out in the wilds. The beacon shows the path the Colossi must walk again. So it has always been claimed. It is a grand city, worthy of protection. I strive to guard its citizens from the menaces below us, in the teeth of Naros. Looking at the Colossi here, you will find we have it in ourselves to be truly great. But we are also capable of much violence. The marauders have lost their reason, but not their strength. If they catch you unawares, you will not have much time left. I have lost much to the beasts of this land. I aim to ensure that none share this sorrow.
Please, just let me past. I will only be gone for a short while.
You know why you cannot leave. Without you, the city could never...
What is it? Unless you can somehow convince the guards to let me leave the city, you're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see, being locked inside this city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave. I did not choose to leave her beckoned. I wanted her to come with me, but she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed, but I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing. Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone. Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her. We were separated when the city was razed. I last saw her in the quarries of the Warren. My wife and I were separated when the city was razed. I believe her to still be in the teeth of Naros. I hope she is unharmed. This city is the child I never had. I poured myself into this stone, these edifices, these reliefs. But now I have been here so long that these walls have lost their charm. They are only the bars of a prison to me. I am one of Idilla's finest masons, so much so that it seems I am an institution amongst my people. It seemed nice at first, but they handle me like a work of art, with too much caution. The stone used to build this city was dug out from the Warren. It was our main quarry, but much of it is inaccessible now. The rest is home to beasts. Please find my wife.
Watch your step in the concourse.
Greetings.
Be careful here.
The second. Greetings.
Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you beckoned. Your divine intervention is needed. I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin! Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal, but I have worked myself to exhaustion and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer and lay waste to them. Are you enjoying its splendors? This fair city is rich with them. Even in the sewers, under its gleaming exterior, lies a feat of engineering unrivaled by other cities in Amalur. Lycaeus breeds thinkers, philosophers. They spend their days pondering the greater meaning of existence. Such are their debates that they shake the very foundations of Idylla. For some time, non-believers have touted that the relevance of the Lycaeus has passed, but I'm confident all it needs is one brilliant lecturer to stoke its fires. I am a mason, one of many caretakers of the sewers. A hidden menace, the secret horde. Though few acknowledge them, the rats are the great threat to this city. In my younger days, I hunted the vermin with a force of will unequaled by the greatest of the theologians in the Lycaeus. I wish you well. Many greetings, stranger.
Watch your step in the concourse.
Have you seen the rather small...
Are you in need of medical assistance? I know the healing arts. I am one of Onisimos' oldest disciples. I have taken to tending to the inexperienced students after their debates. The Master is troubled. The Lycaeus has seen its attendance gradually drop since the tragedy at the Hyperion. Have you seen it? The theater is perhaps our greatest rival in capturing the idle time of Idylla's citizens. Over the years, I've warmed to the idea of their productions, but there is no substitute for the Lycaeus' debates. Enjoy the debates. And the beckoned arrives at... What do you think of our humble academy, Chosen One? Could I perhaps convince you to debate one of my prodigies? Surely the beckoned of Athene would be a worthy lecturer. I despair that the Lycaeus has passed under the awareness of one so blessed. Our academy is the center of conversation for philosophy and theology in Idylla. Would you be opposed to joining us for a dialogue or two? It would be an honor. The spears, you mean? They are for the debate. Wonderful! With the hard times about us, I worry that our long-kept traditions will eventually be lost as the school's influence wanes. Your involvement is sure to spark interest in the Lycaeos once again. Now, let us begin. In your first debate, you face Thais, one of my most promising students. He did not have the strength needed to appeal to the gods, though he was named Primos. His virtue faded over time. Many argue the meaning of the beckoned. Are you a conduit of the gods, or are you merely their messenger? I know what you are, though. You are the strength of the gods incarnate. If anything, this city is great for separating the weak and impious from the strong. Not all have kept the promises we made to the gods. Some have left our city to live in the wilds, as if they were the Myru. Fools. I will admit, times are difficult for the school. Few have the fire within them to debate. They seem to prefer moping. That is what we were before the gods sought to raise us up. Life for the Myru was not as you see here. The Myru cared only for base pleasures, carnage, conquest, and power. They were far from the enlightened people the Colossi are today. I am the master of the Lycaeos. I do what I can to enlighten the minds of those who enter my academy. Speak to Thais, and let him know you're ready for a debate. Study hard, Beckoned.
Greetings, Beckoned. I take it that Onisimos wishes me to go through with this debate? Very well. Oh, the city? It is... well, it is grand, as everyone says. I wish I could say more of it, but I spend most of my time in the Lycaeos. Though the Lycaeos is open to all who wish to debate, some choose to spend their lives mastering the arguments, like me. I hope it will make me a stronger Colossi. I am, the youngest of Onisimos' students. There is much I have yet to learn. You are? Then, I will begin. I mean, here is the topic of discussion. A torrential storm sweeps a youngling and a full-grown colossi into the flow of a river. A big one. A river, I mean. Now, there is only time to save one. Which should one choose to save? And you would choose to spare the potential for strength over the certainty of it? That's a stance few might stand by. Very well, let us begin the debate. Let us prepare. Then, here we go. Very well, here's the button.
You smashed him senseless, Beckoned. Why, this is the form all debates take here at the Lycaeus. Opening statements are made, and combat determines the victor. I am unsure what else you were expecting. That said, will you allow others to challenge you? You appear to be quite skilled. Speak to Sisters. He is eager to debate with you. My students have told me that Sisters wishes to challenge you. Speak to him. He will be glad to test his might against yours. Study hard.
Is it my turn to challenge you, Beckoned? I am eager to test you, and myself. I remember when this city sat on firm earth instead of thin air. Those were dark times, where daily we grappled with the wilds of the teeth of Naros. But we endured, and now we have carved a near paradise for ourselves among the clouds. No finer city exists. There is no greater home, no event, no thought, no prayer is raised that does not get tried and tested in our debates. I am a student of the Masters, and there is no greater joy for me than the debate. I truly love it here. Currently, my studies have me exploring the value of life versus that of the spirit. I am glad. Tell me, what is the most effective display of strength in the following scenario? On a trip across a vast desert, you and a companion encounter a boulder. It is an airborne boulder, and it crushes your friend. He tells you, "Leave me, Beckoned. Even were you to lift this boulder from off my battered body, I would be but half a colossi." What would the strong do? You would save him? Beckoned, you fight like a colossi, but you certainly do not think like one. Where would he be with his body obliterated? He would be half a man, and half a man can never be whole. His friends and family would pity him, shun him. I will best you in this debate, Beckoned. I must. Prepare yourself. Test your proposition.
Absolutely scintillating debate beckoned. Sisters didn't stand a chance. Are you ready for another? Find my disciple Zeno when you are. He wishes to challenge you. Speak to Zeno. He wishes to test his intellect against yours. My disciple, Zeno, wishes to speak with you. He would be more than happy to debate you. Study hard, Beckoned.
You are the Beckoned? I wish to challenge you. Sisters and Thace are worthy opponents. That you have debated them is impressive indeed. Especially for one so short. Our city stands the highest in all of Amalur, and that means that it is the greatest. It is no coincidence that our culture and virtue have flourished up here among the clouds. It is built to honor the struggle we all must go through to attain wisdom, and we embody that struggle every day. I am a relatively new debater, but already I have made my mark. I outranked Thace in the Master's eyes, though we became disciples on the same day. My area of interest is the nature of war. You are one of the greatest debaters I have ever seen, Beckoned. I hope I present a worthy challenge. My query for you is simple. What makes a war worth fighting? That is a suitable response, if a bit subjective. I am of the belief that nothing makes war more worth fighting than a worthy opponent, such as yourself. Prepare yourself for debate. Prepare yourself.
Zeno's argument was hastily prepared drivel next to your well-constructed thesis. Finesse, an older disciple, wishes to debate with you. Speak to Finesse. She is my eldest disciple, very powerful and wise. A true challenge awaits you. Speak to Finesse. She is eager to match her logic against yours. Study hard, Becca.
Greetings, Beckoned. You've defeated many of Master Onisimos' students, Beckoned. I am the oldest, the most powerful. Prepare yourself to face the Master's most gifted student. The Colossi believe that ours is the greatest city in all of Amalur, Beckoned. I am inclined to agree. We were strong enough to rip it from the clutches of the earth. How could there be any doubt? No doubt the gods favor us because we had the strength to perpetuate their message. This is the center of theology in Idylla, Beckoned. My people attend to debate any topic they like, with whomever they like. We leave social standing at the door. All that matters in the Lycaeus is virtue and a sound argument. I am a student of Master Onisimos, and I hold the highest rank among all of his disciples. My current point of study is the nature of strength and its relation to virtue. Excellent. You've done well thus far, but I have another query to test you. Does might make right? That is an intriguing point, but it runs counter to the core of Colossi values. Our culture hinges on the belief that strength is given by the gods to those with the virtue to wield it. Let us debate the issue. My virtue shall prove that you are wrong. Prepare yourself. I am eager to support my claims. And my conclusion.
Beckoned, welcome back. Have you been enjoying your debates? Indeed, you have defeated all of my students, Beckoned. The issue I pose to you is this, brought to my mind by your overwhelming strength. Can those with absolute power, such as yourself, have courage? If one enters battle with victory all but assured, can one also be called brave? You have proven differently here at the Lycaeos. Very well. Let us debate. Prepare yourself. I will enjoy your countenance. Here is my evidence. You have my underlying gratitude for participating in our competitions. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. Word of your scintillating lectures is sure to bring attention to our school. Already there are more spectators in the Lycaeos than there have been in years. Your thoughts guard you well in combat. May this talisman offer you similar protection. Though we were all taught sound lessons, my students and I have never seen this many in the Lycaeos. Truly, you have helped us. Study hard, Beckham.
Ah, you must be the Beckoned. I must say that you are the most peculiar specimen I have ever glimpsed. Your fate, I cannot think but I have been blinded, but you are the only flaw in my gaze. The first of many failures. I have seen the portents of the future, and the old Primos wears the garb we all will be shrouded in. I have always been able to snatch glimpses of the future, but very recently, since news came that you appeared in our land, these dim half-visions of mine have burst into full, glorious sight. I can see the fate of this city now, of all who live within it, except for you, curiously enough. The city will hold longer than this academy, but all things in this world fall to ruin. Every morning I wake and despair, for I see the mighty walls of Idilla and the tower of the Primos crumble to dust before my eyes, replaced by an empty sky. I was wrong. It has been so long since my vision has proven false. In fact, I don't recall that ever happening. It is a relief. Would that I could unsee some things.
You are the beckoned. Are you in need of medical assistance? I know the healing arts. I have not seen the Master so happy in some time. Thank you for helping him, Beckoned. Be careful if you choose to debate.
Yes, Beckoned. I am pleased to serve how I can. If you have wounds to tend to, Naros can assist.
Greetings, Beckoned. Are you here to debate?
How long must we be tested?
Yes?